Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Scrap Squad Sunday and Dotty about Flair design team layout. They both happen to coincide with on the same day, and so I'm using this beautiful lift for Scrap Squad, and I have chosen my color scheme based on the flares I'm going to use. Normally I'd be using the June release flares, but I've gotten the Boss Man Adams permission to use Natalie's mix from a previous release, and they're all navy blue, and I've been hoarding them, and I love them so much. I'm using a sticker sheet from a Kaisercraft collection called Stargazer that's got a lot of navy blues and black and kind of smoky grays. And I have from a previous release from Kaisercraft from many years ago, I have this vellum, this piece of vellum. I think this came off the other side, and this is a beachy collection. I think it's called Sandy Toes. Anyway, I have this, which is going to be the front of my vellum pocket, and I've made a card onto which I'm going to print my journaling. I have a sheet of blue paper. No idea where it came from. It's kind of slightly modeled, I guess is the word. It's not exactly patterned. And I've got this blue that's a little bit different blue that came out of a paper pad, and I'm going to have to cut that off because a little orange is going to stick. So let's see what we can make of all these strange and wonderful supplies. I'm going to have a little bit of this floral print kind of sticking out on either side of the blue panel, and I'm going to set the white houses against the blue so that the blue will show through the windows and in between the houses. I thought about converting this photo to black and white, and I decided against it because I like, in the midst of all of this monochromatic business that I'm going to have going on, I like that there's all those pops of color, including this blue. This was taken obviously on a Saturday when Ava had a soccer game or a t-ball game and Barrett had a baseball game, and Allie and Katie were at an age when they actually went to their brother and sister's sporting events, and James is wearing a hat to indicate that he was the coach of said baseball game for Barrett. And I'm reminded of the time frame by the fact that these are my pots that I had moved from the other house. This has to be 2011, I would say 2012 maybe. 2012, I'd say. So that's Allie, Katie, Barrett, and Ava. And you've met them all on my pages before. So I'm going to try just these florals. I'm going to try, it's a big long border sticker. I'm going to try cutting them apart and layering them. So we'll see how successful that is. I'm not going to have butterflies because I didn't bring any to the table. And we'll see how all this works out. I know that my pattern paper is very different from the pattern paper in the example. And I don't know, to be honest, if these kind of folded over thingies are part of the design. But to me, that's a little too busy for what I'm trying to use. I think it's just things laid over to take the overall photo. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And we'll go with that. I've already cut, this is 4x4. It came on the vellum sheet as 4x4. I've already put tape on here. I cut a 4x4 piece out of this, the other part of the blue paper, and I'll let that be the background. And for now I'm not going to have any journaling on the card. Let's see how this works. I tried to put this tape on evenly so that if it does show through the vellum, it's not going to be ugly. Okay, that I'm going to have a little bit, this 4x4 is different from this 4x4, so I'm going to have to do a little trimming over here, and I hate to do that with either my scissors or my trimmer. So I'm going to do it with my scissors because it seems like those are easier to get clean. Okay, so there's that. And then, you know what I forgot to do was punch my thumb bit in there. And I think I can peel it up from the adhesive right now. This is how not to do this. I'm going to go right here and just cut a little notch there, just to make it easier to lift that up, which may not have been an issue. So whatever I write on the journaling here is going to show through here. So I may format my journaling. I didn't want to take the time to do that. And I'm going to take this and kind of do it the way they did. Just kind of feed it through here and let it kind of hang on there. So I'm going to do that. My photo's going to go here, I think. Probably layered over this rather than under it. And then my florals will go here, my houses will go there. But I need to get these on first. Just for placement. And this, by the way, in case you can't tell, well, number one, it's wrinkled. Number two, it's denim and there's like a little fringe. It's kind of photorealistic vellum. So let me just kind of leave that there. I'm going to put some foam back here to prop this up over on this side. And I'll attach it with that so that it's not really glued onto here. Let me kind of put it down like, well, actually, maybe I'll put it up higher and then I'll kind of, okay, there we go. Let's start with the little houses. Now, I cut out some bits and pieces from these houses that I may or may not use. There is the cutest little option there to take these two houses and put them together, and then there are little die cuts of clothes that would go on a clothesline, and you could run a piece of twine across there with a clothesline. I'm not going to do that on camera, and I may not even do it off camera, but for sure I'm not doing it on camera. At the moment, with all the other weeds that are coming out of my die cuts, I doubt that I could even find all of those little pieces of clothing. So I probably should have weeded these before starting filming, but I will kind of tell you my idea. I'm going to try to find some blue foam. I'm going to prop these up on foam, and I'll try to find some foam that matches this blue, or I may use something like that gray, And I'll try to, if I have to put the foam where it shows, in a spot where it's going to show, I'll try to make it as similar to the color of the background as possible. So we'll see how this works. There's a lot of little, okay, so there's that idea there. There's this kind of tall building right here. Not quite sure how close I'm going to put these together. I've done a couple of trees of that type and one kind of a deciduous tree that could look like it's in the background maybe. It's embossed on this side, so I guess we should use it that way. And I've got another, I have an evergreen tree here, and I've got a building, an apartment building with many windows. And again, I should have weeded that, but you know, it might be cute if some of those were left in there, because it just looks like some people have their blinds down, right? Okay, let's see how we're gonna arrange these. Okay, see, here's the little, isn't that the cutest little thing? It's like a little dress. And this is like a little shirt. And this is, that's something. Is that a, it's not a pair of pants. What the heck is that? Let me look at the, well, yeah, I guess it's meant to be something. It's meant to be hanging on the clothesline. So I could do those. I could go ahead and glue those on, and I could do the twine, the clothesline later. Let me get this here. I'm gonna kind of alternate, maybe put, let's see, here and here, and let that be on the end. And then this is meant to be an antenna on top of one of the houses, like that. Okay, let's just go for it. Why don't we? I'm gonna stick a little bit of foam here. And I think I've got enough room here to get the lift that I want without the foam showing through the window. So let's do that. And we'll kind of, theoretically, it should be kind of like this down by the, let's do it that way. That can kind of allow us to vary the heights without it being obvious that we've done that. Okay, so I'm going to do that right there. And this one may have a little bit of gray showing through. I'm going to move these over here, and these two, just to kind of get them out of the way. I'm going to overlap the tree over by that house. I'm going to bring this house, and this guy's going to have a little bit of, no, I guess I can do the gray there so that it doesn't show. Kind of do it here. And I'm going to put this antenna on before I lose it with the, let me look in here and see if I can find that tree looking thing. I don't like this little tree without the branches. I don't see. I guess that allows you to cut the tree out of green and then cut just the branches out of brown. But since mine are all white, I'm fine. But I will use that little guy maybe for something. Let's put this antenna right there. And I don't know about you, but in my neighborhood, all the TV antennas used to be crooked, so I'm going to put that one on crooked. I think it's on crooked on the original. Let me put this off to the side too. I'm going to do this little guy with a thin strip of foam behind it. I've got a fresh roll of tape, so it's easy to put small little bits of tape there. Let's do that. I'm going to actually raise it up above that level. And then this guy, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to actually have it show through the windows so that it just looks darker and different. There. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Let me get just the right size there. Is that right? That's not right. But it's better. And it would be helpful if I cut the lines straight, don't you think? I'm going to put the tape on here and then lay it like that. And it's got that gray, which looks different, and every once in a while one's open to the blue, so I think that actually looks kind of cool. Let this one kind of stick out here, and I'm going to superimpose this one on top of or maybe I'll just kind of put it smack in the middle there. There you go. It does kind of go there. Okay, so I've got those. Now, I guess my next question is, do I want these little things on? I'm going to put this leafless one maybe there, just so that I don't waste the paper it's cut out of. Is that kind of silly? Kind of look like something in the background there. This is bothering me because that white is not as white as this, so I think I'm going to take that out and maybe find another twine, and it's kind of just bugging me. So let's see if I can fit that right there. I think that would be cute right there, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself and doing Flair before I've finished the rest, but that just kind of opens up. When I took that away, it kind of opened a spot that looked pretty. Okay. so sue me, I did my Flair early. Okay. I'm going to do the little things on the line. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. The reason why, and I know I'm wasting the paper that it was cut out on. The reason is these are, I don't have room for all of them, and I've put them down low, so that might end up being a spot for a flower sticker. Okay, now I'm going to kind of fussy cut as I go because I don't want to unstick the whole thing. I'm going to lay down my underneath kind of layer here like that. And I can maybe prop it up with a little bit of foam to give even that lowest layer some dimension. So let me do that. Okay, and that'll stay up. And maybe a little bit over here on the other side. With the textured cardstock here, it's easy to lift up stickers, which is lucky because I never do anything in the right order. Because I don't think of these great ideas until I get things kind of down. Now I'm going to put one of these flares in here and then layer the other flowers, the top flowers, on top of it. So in this case, I'm intending to put this flare here. This might be easier to put the flare down and then to layer the florals around it. Might be easier than trying to scooch it in later. Now, hopefully I can get some of these that will layer properly. I was going to stick this one underneath there and kind of come. So let me cut this bit out. And they are kind of navy and gray with a black edge, and it's really dramatic looking and kind of cool. Let's see how I want to do this. I really like this little tendril and this. This could get layered pretty deeply under, I guess, but I don't want to lay it right on top of something that's just like it. Let me get a piece of foam here, pretty big piece of foam, to get this kind of propped up. And I have covered a good part of that underneath sticker, but I kind of knew I would when I started this. So there. Now the next bit is going to be layered kind of on top of the photo. I think this area right here is probably not all that interesting. Maybe I could do it this way. So I'm going to cut this bit out, and then we'll see where we need this last bit. Okay, so what were we going to do? We were going to do it this way. Maybe curling up like that. Okay, and a bit of foam under there. And I've got another tiny piece that can prop this up. There. Okay, and don't you think this needs to go down here? Kind of like so. I think so. Let's pull this up, and maybe I'll put a little bit of foam under there. And I think we have our florals done. And I used all the stickers, which is good. We do that. Okay, I've got to get that a little bit smaller. I think I can use 2 pieces of that. One piece under here and one under here. Okay, so there. And it's looking like maybe I could use another bit, another flare right there. Do I want the striped one or the one with stars? I'm thinking the stars. And the striped one may not get used. Okay. Now, other than the twine, which I'm just going to replace this with another twine where the white is whiter. I have a golden white or a silver and white. I'm using these little kind of glass bead type things. To provide a little bit of contrasting color to all the blues. And I'm going to kill this whole sheet on this one page. Get rid of that. And I'm going to put that right there on the vellum. And this right here. And you know I'm going to be sorry I did this when I go putting words on here, because I'm probably going to want to stretch a word across an area that I have a bead. So let me take that off. Okay, so the words are like shine like the stars, love you to the moon and back. In the end, we're all just dreamers. In love with life. This life is pretty amazing. In love with life. Or you only live once. I like in love with life. We were pretty happy then. We just bought the house. And we loved the neighborhood park. And we had kind of jumped right in and James had signed up to coach the Little League team in the park during the summer, and Katie and Barrett were living in Kentucky, so they were here on every other weekend. James would go pick them up, and then all summer. So Barrett was able to play ball. I want it parallel with the bottom of that envelope, and it is. I think I need something right here. So maybe moments in time. There's one that says dream. How about, I like the moments in time. There we go. And it needs some foam. I'll do a couple more little pieces. And in my journaling, I'll talk about how you know, the excitement of the time, and we still love the house and the neighborhood. Nobody's playing Little League. Nobody's playing baseball. Let me kind of peel that up and kind of stick that down there. Okay, how about maybe, would that go there or even here? It could, huh? Okay, let's do that. This is, it's done with liquid glue, and I can pull it up temporarily and hurry up and get this done. Now, do I want the stripes going this way or that way? I'm going to put them in this way. And then I can go back and get this down on that same line and stuck with the same glue. Okay, that works. And I managed to get in that fourth Flair from Natalie's collection there. And let me find the top to my glue so that it doesn't dry out any more than it already has. And I think I'm done. So I've managed to, usually I do 3 flares because I kind of think in terms of visual triangles on my pages. But that was just too nice a spot for one. You can still see it doesn't destroy your view of the heart. You've got your florals kind of cascading down. My one thing I'm going to add is a little bit of a few splatters. And let me shield the splatters with, let me shield the photo anyway. What is this? This is the packaging from my tape. Get a few out here on the flowers as well. And I'm okay getting some on the florals. In fact, I like that. I'm trying to turn my hand. I'm not sure how this is paint and gesso mixed with what was left of the Diane Reevely ink. I'm not sure how it would stick to vellum, but if some gets on there, that's okay. All right, I am done, and I'm gonna stop the cameras. So I hope you enjoyed this, and as you're watching this, we're still on our vacation trip, our kind of celebration of life tour that we're calling the Kokomo tour, and you may have heard me describe what that's all about before. But I'm going to be getting onto social media and kind of posting this around. I will have journaling on this eventually, but probably not before I take the photo that's going to go out. So if you see it, but I think I will put some twine in there. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.